Hello. So this topic came about because over the years I've talked with many advaita non-dual people, and they seem to think, or many don't think, that there's any overlap or room within non-duality for devotion, prayer, faith, surrender, because they say there is no other. What are you surrendering to? What are you praying to? Who or what is doing the praying or the surrendering? And while that's true, to a certain extent, it also has a hidden falsity in that that doesn't mean it's exclusive or excluded either. Take Ramana Maharshi, great teacher of non duality, focused on the self, realizing, abiding in the self. And yet, he was devoted to Arunachala, the mountain he was at. He saw it as Shiva or God. There was bhajans and pujas and devotion done at his ashram. And so, and some people think, well, he did this for the people who couldn't get non-duality. I don't think that's the case, really. I think a lot of times, post-realization or post-awakening or however you want to word it, the devotion and surrender actually becomes more alive. I found since my awakening many years ago that over the years there's been an increasing amount of enjoying the devotional aspects and surrender and things like that. Now it does mean different thing. It does mean a different thing slightly because, for example, most devotionals, bhakti yoga, you name it, they're focused on God. And in non duality, there's only the self. And so self can be replaced or put in, the word can be transposed whenever God's mentioned. And so when you are surrendering, they'll go, well, you surrender to God. For non duality, it's self surrender, surrendering to the self, surrendering to the world, which is not other than the self. Faith. People say, well, they have faith in God. For non duality, as I see it and understand it, it's a faith in the self. It's a faith. It's a trust. Trust is an equivalent word, I think, to faith. It's trusting the world is fine. The world is going as the self wants it to go. Because even among non-duality, there's this sometimes resistance to what is. But what is exactly as the self wants it to be. And no matter how bad it might be at this moment in time for this body-mind, there's got to be a trust and a faith that this is what you wanted as the self. Now, prayer is an interesting concept in that I know that in the West here, or at least in the U.S., prayer is more about talking to God and asking for things for yourself and others. That's what it kind of seems to have become over the years. But what is prayer really? Prayer is communion. It is, I think, more about listening than talking. And so, if you just abide in self, listening, that is prayer. That is a communion with the self. And at times, it's nice just to sit in silence and abide in self more consciously. Whether you consciously abide or not, you're always abiding as a self. But the difference is there's a period of time where you can consciously abide. And that's kind of a prayer. So, there's surrender, there's faith, there's trust, there's prayer. Devotion, I find, in general, is a devotion to the self. And the world is not other than the self. And so when you are practicing devotion and service, for example, it is for the world, for what is. And so you could serve the world as an act of devotion, an act of devotion to the self. And I don't find any of this in conflict or contrary to non-duality. I mean, nothing says that once the illusion is seen through and you realize there's only the self, that as the self you can't say, well, as a body-mind I'm going to, surrender more consciously. I'm going to be devoted to the self, serve the self. Nothing says you can't do that. So the two are not in conflict, and I think overlap far more than many within non-duality and advaita believe.